Hi, it's Michelle, and I'm a certified holistic nutritionist and emotional eating expert. And today I wanted to talk about stressors and how that impacts emotional eaters and what we can do about it. So, stress usually triggers emotional eaters into eating. I've heard this from so many women that when their life is so stressed out, when there's so much going on, they find that they're constantly emotionally eating. It seems like they can't get a handle on their life. It just feels so stressful, and that they go towards food to just take the edge off, to deal with all the stress in their life, to feel okay. And so there are so many women that are aware that they're going to the food because they're stressed. They're emotionally eating because that's the only way they know how to deal with their emotions. And I totally get it, and I totally resonate with that, because that's exactly what I did. Before, if I look back, I didn't even connect the stressors in my life to my emotional eating. A lot was going on in my life, and then I would just be emotionally eating. So looking back, I was going through a lot of financial stress, emotional stress, relational stress, all the stress, commuting stress, work stress, all the kinds of stress. And then I was trying to control my body. So I was in a cycle of dieting, and then I would over exercise, and I was trying to control my body and creating more stress there as well. And then, there was even a time I was on this diet that I felt, for a few months I was losing weight, and I kept continuing it for a longer period. And then I started gaining weight and nothing had changed. And it was so frustrating. And so looking back, I could see all the stressors that were creating this emotional eating, because if you're trying to control the way you're eating and manage it, and there's so much stress, and the way you deal with stress is to emotionally eat, then you set yourself up to binge eat. There are other issues that happen with emotional eating and stressors, but I want to keep it to that point. And so that would happen to me, and I hear it from women when life is calm, when everything's going great. Of course, they can, stick to whatever diet or plan that they have, and then something happens and throws them off. And so, yes, of course, when life is perfect and calm, nothing happens, but that's not how life is. Life throws us curveballs. And so, when I look back to that time where I was so stressed out, so much was going on, and I hit this rock bottom, and I swung to the other extreme. I couldn't do the diets anymore. I couldn't sustain anything. And I just started eating whatever I wanted. And I realized from that, I didn't feel good that way either. So I knew I needed to find a better way. And so through learning about so many things about health and wellness and emotions, and studying and having mentors, I figured out what worked for me. And that's the thing. I started creating a solution. So I started creating a solution that was internal rather than external. Because when life is going great on the outside, and your kid's not sick, you have a babysitter, you can go to work, you have some sense of control, that's great. But when life falls apart on the outside, how do you deal with it on the inside? And that's what that time in my life forced me to do. I had to start building this internal foundation of how to manage my stressors and manage my eating and my life and all of that. And so the things that I learned through this whole trial and error process became the foundation of my program, the Emotional Eating Evolution Program. And the reason it's called that is because through our emotional eating, we can evolve. We can evolve into a better version of ourselves. We can hear the messages of our emotion. We can start going in the direction of our goals and our dreams and feeling better in our life. The emotional eating is there as a gateway to open us up to this. And so when I was moving through this, a foundation emerged. And I'm going to share with you the 3 key areas of that foundation that helped me, and that I help my clients navigate through, so that they can feel their best as well. So the first area was true nourishment and strategic digestion. And I know if you've been on so many diets and plans, here we go with food, but this is different. This is true nourishment, really tuning into your body to notice when you're truly hungry versus emotionally hungry, nourishing your body so that it doesn't feel depleted, and being really strategic about your digestion, because when we're under so much stress in whatever form, it messes with our digestion. And our digestion, when it's messed up, it impacts our mental health. So we go into this cycle, and then the mental health is low, or we're in a mood, we go to the emotional eating, and we are in this cycle. So we need to know how to deeply nourish our bodies, rebuild it so that we can at least get an edge with our mental health and support it as best as we can. The second key area is body acceptance. When we are dieting and trying to force ourselves into a certain body, we don't appreciate our body, we don't accept our bodies, and we start punishing our bodies. So we're punishing ourselves to a body we love. It doesn't make sense. It's a mental stress. We're constantly critiquing ourselves, saying negative things. We are putting stress on ourselves mentally, and that translates physically. And so we are stressing out the body, and that's not a way to manage stress. And stress makes us hold on to weight and hold on to and creates inflammation. But when we start really accepting our body, we start understanding our body, appreciating our body, knowing it needs more food or less food, how to really nourish it, but also rituals around how to take care of our body so that it's there for us. Because we all know when we don't eat well, we're depleted, we don't feel good. And the same thing, if we don't talk about our body or feel good in our body, we are depleted on some level. How are we going to move forward in our life and make those decisions we need to make? How are we going to move forward and feel good? The third key area is emotional wellness. And this, of course, is my favorite, because if we don't process and move through those emotions we've been holding in, and resolve them and let them go, they live in our body, they live in our nervous system. We'll always feel on edge and agitated and like, oh my God, we have a million things on our mind, we have a million things to do, we might have 2 things to do, and we feel so stressed and so overwhelmed. All of those emotions are living in our body. Our nervous system is trying to manage them, but if our nervous system doesn't release that energy, it cannot go back to calm. So if we don't let go of those emotions and process them, our nervous system's constantly agitated. When our nervous system's like that, we cannot think clearly. We don't have clarity. We don't have presence. We are going to feel overwhelmed. We're going to feel like we have a million things to do when we have 2 things to do. But if we're able to process, resolve, and move through our emotions, and especially those emotions under our emotional eating, our nervous system goes back to calm. Our body goes back to calm. It goes back to presence. And then we can think clearly, we can see clearly, we know the next step, we are clear about things. And that brings a sense of calm and peace to our life. We won't feel like we're juggling a million things and so many things are going on. And also, when we start listening to our emotions, they're so intelligent. They're telling us something isn't working for us. So if we're in a job that's not working for us, or in a relationship, or even our day-to-day life that we're taking on too much, it will start telling us, and we can start creating change in our life to make us feel better. When we start creating change from this agitated place, we don't know if it's working or not. We're not getting into the root. We're not getting to the core of the emotion. We need to get to the root. And so this is just so key and pivotal. And when we start getting clarity, all of those crazy things in our life that have been on the outside, we can start managing it on the inside, because we have more clarity, we have more structure, we have more flow. And so our lives become, so much better. And we finally because we've finally gotten a handle on our emotional eating. We've finally gotten a handle on, our well-being, and we can see clearly and we can evolve. So if this program is resonating for you, I really would love for you to reach out. I invite you to book a complimentary call if you want to dive deeper to see if this program is a good fit for you. And then, of course, if you have questions, please let me know. What I want you to get out of this video is that when we have stressors that are making us emotionally eat, or we feel like we can't manage our life, it's a way to dive in and to start moving through those emotions. It's a time to now start deeply nourishing our body so it supports us, and to start accepting our body to know that it supports us. So it's such a doorway and then we are better able to move forward in our lives and do the things we want to do and go after the goals we want, and to be the person we want to be in our life, be that role model to our kids, to be present around food and nourish their body, be that, grandma that's able to go out and be with her grandkids, to be, that person that can connect more deeply with their partner, or to find a partner that really resonates with them, and to feel good in what you're wearing. And when you pass by the mirror, you feel amazing and you can say kind things to yourself. You know, this is the evolution. We want to move into that because that's how we're meant to be. We're not meant to be in a constant state of criticism and stress and eating our emotions. So thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you have a great day.